toy for their birthday, ranging from a whole new entertainment system complete with all of your favorite games to just a month worth of Club Penguin membership. There's always so much thought and preparation put into exactly how you're going to ask your family to buy it for you. What you might not think of is that on the other end of the scale to a comparatively cheap purchase for a child is the luxury of a one-of-a-kind piece to add to a hardcore collector's mountain of impressive toys and games. Whether it's a factory-sealed copy of a game that isn't meant to exist or a standard toy decorated excessively with gems and stones, everything has its price. You're watching Top Trending, and today we're going to be counting down some of the most expensive toys and games in the world. On April 21, 1989, Nintendo released the original Game Boy to coinciding with their 100th anniversary as a company, beginning in 1889 as marketers of Japanese playing cards known as Hanafuda, which translates to flower cards in English. Nintendo's releases of the entertainment system, Nintendo 64, and more helped them become one of the largest video game companies of all time alongside Sony and Microsoft. Fast forward to December 2005 to early 2006, and instead of mass-produced run-of-the-mill Game Boy, one instance of the handheld console in particular was making its rounds on the internet. This was a Game Boy fashioned with solid 18-karat gold and accented by diamonds on the buttons, as well as a display of diamonds around the border of the screen. It weighs approximately 27 ounces, which is a bit over a pound and a half. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but you'd probably notice the difference. The golden Game Boy is almost 4 times as heavy as its undecorated counterpart. The device, limited to a customized production quantity of 1, came with its own blue leather carrying case. Inside the carrying case appear classic Game Boy games and the original charging cable that came with the Game Boy. Swiss Supply Direct decorated the Game Boy and set the selling price at the cost of a nice new car, dubbing it the ultimate in cool. Perhaps you could use it to play Castlevania Legends, which if you bought the game sealed, depending on the condition of the packaging, could also set you back an insane amount on its own. In the last decade, a Castlevania Legends cartridge for the original Game Boy with a grading of 90%, which indicates a near mint to mint condition, sold for $12,500, making it the most expensive Game Boy game ever sold. Bandai, a company famous for its production of quality toys for franchises such as Ben 10, Digimon, Dragon Ball Z, Astro Boy, Godzilla, One Piece, and more, have once lent a helping hand to what may be the rarest specimen in the video game collecting world. In 1987, the company released the video game Stadium events, which came along with the Family Fun Fitness Mat, a soft plastic mat with which players would run and walk in order to progress through the game. Nintendo bought the rights to the game and rebranded the Family Fun Fitness Mat to the Power Pad, and changed the name of Stadium events to World-Class Track Meet. To avoid confusion, Nintendo then recalled all copies of Stadium events they could find to be destroyed, but at least 200 were sold in North America, and between 10 and 20 are estimated to still be in existence today. In recent years, a copy of the game was sold for $35,100 on eBay, with a near-mint grading. The seller of the game, who told GameSpot they were once an employee of Nintendo, kept the game in a case for safekeeping, to battle the impact from the sun's rays and environmental damage until it was sold in 2015. Even prior to this auction, in February 2010, a factory-sealed copy of the game was sold for an incredible $41,300. It is thought that there are now no more factory-sealed copies of the game anywhere, which makes these a true piece of video game history. While copies of the game World-Class Track Meet now sell for $4 or $5 on eBay, the recalled and hugely desired original Stadium events has been dubbed the single rarest and most desirable NES game in history. As iconic as the Rubiks Cube is, there is one iteration of it created over 2 decades ago which has only grown in value. In 1995, to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Rubiks Cube taking the international toy limelight, Diamond Cutters International founder and CEO Fred Kuehler crafted the Masterpiece Cube. The Masterpiece Cube was created with incredibly beautiful and precious materials, including 18-karat gold, 34 carats of rubies, 22.5 carats of amethyst, and 34 carats of emeralds. The amazing display of entertainment took over 8,500 hours to create, and the idea for its inception came to Kuehler when he was looking at a plain plastic Rubik's Cube and thought to himself that there had been no incredible, exemplary, or noteworthy product created in dedication to Erno Rubik, the creator of the original toy itself. The diamond-studded awe-inspirer is occasionally put on display to the public, but is more often than not kept away safely and away from the public eye. It is estimated to be worth between $1.5 million and $2.5 million. Most incredible of all, despite the precious and priceless aspect of the cube and all the dedicated workmanship that's been put into its creation, the Masterpiece Cube is 100% usable and can be solved just like any other Rubik's Cube. Today, the standard iteration of the 3x3 cube can be purchased from the official Rubik's store for $10. Assuming the Masterpiece Cube is priced at its lowest estimate of $1.5 million, that means if you were to buy this beauty, you would be looking at reaching into your back pocket and buying the equivalent of 150,000 standard editions of the world-renowned puzzle. The Masterpiece Cube, part of the Liberty Science Center's Beyond Rubiks Cube exhibition in 2014, is currently said to be making a global 7-year tour, so you may be able to see it for yourself if you don't believe it. For more than 80 years, the Parker Brothers and Hasbro have built a legacy on making one of, if not the #1 most popular board games in the world, Monopoly. Monopoly has a reputation of destroying friendships and has made appearances in pop culture such as The Simpsons, and even spawned its own short-lived television game show in 1990. In reality, the board game has an incredibly large number of spin-offs, remakes, and theme versions, including editions of the board game based around Shrek, James Bond, ABBA, the Australian Football League, and even other more household items such as coffee, beer, ice cream, dogs, cats, birds, and even the Bible have been made and distributed both by Hasbro themselves and other minor companies such as Late for the Sky. As with everything else, there has to be a holy grail, and the pinnacle of board games is undoubtedly the Sydney Mobile Monopoly set. The game is primarily made of 18-karat gold, but that doesn't account for its full jaw-dropping price tag of $2 million. So what else is included in the box? Over 160 rubies and sapphires top off the properties that comprise the game board. The dice alone are worth $10,000, and each of the 42 dots ranging from 1 to 6 on each side are made of full-cut diamonds. Sydney Mobile had the idea to create the insanely bedazzled piece when he became aware of a London Monopoly tournament in 1988. The San Francisco jeweler appropriately contacted Parker Brothers for their permission in creating the golden game, and when he received the go-ahead, he worked hard on it day and night for the better part of a year. Mobile brought the board game to London and played a game of Monopoly with former British Prime Minister Edward Heath, who served as the leader of the country between 1970 and 1974. In 2003, Sydney donated the board to the Smithsonian Institution in honor of his late wife Ronnie. It is one of 19 works Sydney has donated to the institution. When it comes to stuffed animals, there are certain unmistakable names dominating the market. Ty, Gund, Charlie Bear, all of these brands have created empires based on cuddly collectibles. One company rising above them all, however, is the German-based plush toy company Steiff, founded by Margaret Steiff in 1880. Steiff's teddy bears are the epitome of quality, and their creations have only increased in adorability. For the first 20 or so years, Margaret Steiff was the main person single-handedly behind the design and production of prototypes for animal-themed toys such as elephants, dogs, pigs, and cats. In 1897, Margaret's nephew Richard joined the company, propelling it to new heights 5 years later. Credit for the creation of the teddy bear is divided between Richard Steiff and Russian businessman Morris Miktorn. However, assuming Richard to be the creator, the teddy bear came to be in 1902, and by 1907, Steiff had manufactured almost 1 million teddy bears. At the turn of the century, a Korean bidder named Jesse Kim made history by paying $2.1 million for a Steiff teddy bear fashioned with official Louis Vuitton merchandise. The teddy bear is fitted with genuine Louis Vuitton clothing and comes with matching official luggage. The bear is now on display in the South Korean city of Jeju in the Teddy Bear Museum. This is not the first time Steiff have gone above and beyond with their luxurious production quality. The company also has released a line of teddy bears with fur made of gold fiber and eyes consisting of 2 deep blue sapphires and 40 rhinestones. There are only 125 of these in existence. If these bears seem too pricey for your taste, the company also sells many other cuddly animals, including bears, for less than 20 pounds on their website. Finishing off our list is the most valuable dollhouse in the world, the unmistakable Astolat Dollhouse Castle. This dollhouse was appraised for $8.5 million and made its rounds on the internet in 2015. Created around 1980, Elaine Deal's masterpiece took approximately 13 years to complete and comes furnished with some incredible features. Not only does the 29-room castle boast expensive decor such as golden chandeliers, stained glass panes, and fully functional fireplaces, it's also home to some one-of-a-kind priceless antiques, such as the smallest antique Bible in the world, dated at the year 1811. Of course, what good is a castle without some typical fantasy?
Nobody drinks till this guy sweats.
Degree Advanced Protection works up to 125 degrees, but be careful, it won't let you down.
And mystical intrigue. As the eye makes its way up the castle floors, it gazes upon original oil paintings, tapestries, and framed mirrors. Upon reaching the apex of the castle, the audience can see the inside of the Wizard's Tower, complete with zodiacal signs and functional telescopes. The castle itself is 9 feet tall and weighs 800 pounds. The castle was acquired by L. Freeman in 1996, the year of Elaine Deal's retirement, and was moved to the other side of the country, New York's Nassau Wichita County Museum of Art. The real beauty, however, is in its hometown. Between its creation and Elaine Deal's retirement as a miniaturist, the castle was kept at Elaine's museum shop in Sedona, Arizona. And it's not the only thing unique to the desert town. Despite a population of 10,000, Sedona is a perfect holiday destination for both the modernist and the traditional naturist. Uptown Sedona features newer buildings including art galleries and spa facilities, while the outskirts of the town offer tranquil birdwatching and picnic spots. As you fill up your day, be it with hiking in the wilderness or more urban sightseeing, why don't you fuel up at one of the most distinct and unusual fast food restaurants? In order for the Sedona townspeople to agree to the opening of a McDonald's restaurant, it had to blend into the countryside and not contrast against the landscape. For this reason, the company agreed to paint the arches a calm turquoise. Sedona truly is the home to one-of-a-kind wonders.